Hello everyone, welcome to the Special Reports and Mechanisms of International Criminal Justice. I am here in The Hague, the Netherlands, the city that houses some of the world's most reputable international organizations with a mandate to deliver justice and peace. As it is today, the world agrees that impunity needs to be abolished, but controversy continues to trail the manner in which this should be done. The International Criminal Court is the centerpiece of international criminal justice, and the court was established following the increasing challenge of curbing massive crimes and bringing the world's biggest criminals to book. But controversy continues to trail the manner in which this should be done. Why? As the world battles with the prospects of delivering international justice, ending impunity, and achieving a peaceful coexistence among groups, the prospects of how this can be realized remains. The continued incidents of mass murders, executions, conflicting and radical philosophies abounds. Today, we watch a generation, men, helpless children and women, on the verge of extinction, with some worrying over the extinction of plants and animals. The violence and bloodletting continues unabated, the loss of childhood and innocence. The deaths and displacements in Darfur, the Central African Republic, Jos, Kenya, the rapes in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and other parts of the world. In 1994, the international peacekeepers, faced with some resistance from internal actors, turned their backs on Rwanda, and the result, 800,000 people were slaughtered. Today, the Darfur situation continues to spark off controversy, with the African Union and the biggest players alleging the International Criminal Court to be a Western institution rather than an international organization with a mandate to deliver justice, even though more than half of the countries in the African Union are state parties to the Rome Statute. The death toll rises in some of these conflict-ridden regions, while the biggest actors in international justice and those accused of massive crimes are caught up in a game of cat and mouse. The evidence before the world are of massive killings that have been committed, with many saying the situation in Darfur started like what's being experienced in Nigeria's city of Jos today. With the general elections drawing near, will the people of Jos continue to die? We put some of these questions to the prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Luis Moreno Ocampo, regarded by many as the world's most powerful prosecutor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prosecutor, for speaking to us today. Now, the International Criminal Court is the only permanent, independent international criminal court, and the Rome Statute has been in force since 2002. Many say the only proof of the court's existence are in warrants of arrest and indictments. The question is, why is international criminal justice seemingly slow?
Look, the miracle is we exist. 230 years to discuss this idea. In 7 years we implemented it, we transformed this institution into reality. Conducting investigation of massive crimes during ongoing conflict is hugely difficult. We did it. We arrested individuals. We have 4 individuals arrested here, 1 waiting in Paris. We are having 3 trials moving. And in particular, what's happening now is everyone understands that there is no more impunity. That's huge. It's a global change.
So you think you've made progress?
The issue is this court has to be a court with the highest standards, and that's what we are doing in the courtroom. But in addition, the court is enforcing a new law. A law which not before. The law say no one has immunity before International Criminal Court. The law say victims should be protected. So that's what we are doing. So the deterrence impact of this court is incommensurable. You cannot even measure that.
Right, now let's bring the conversation to Africa, beginning with Nigeria. There's been massive killing in Jos city of Nigeria reoccurring. And now we're hearing that the International Criminal Court is beginning preliminary investigations there. Do you mind telling us how far you've gone with the investigations?
No, it's been examinations. So what we do there is not an investigation. We have to review if these crimes that we are seeing communication are under our jurisdiction, and if Nigeria is conducting its own investigations. Because if they are doing its own investigation, we don't need to do it.
In light of what you just said, recently it was on the news that a judge, a high court judge, sentenced 15 persons to prison relating to the Jos crisis. Doesn't this affect your examination, as you said, considering the fact that the court respects national proceedings?
Oh yeah, that's what we... But to review this is what we call preliminary examination.
So you're going to go on with your investigations, you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is I have to analyze... what I am doing is analyzing if there are crimes under my jurisdiction and if Nigeria prosecute them. As soon we confirm all that are crimes, but Nigeria confirmed them, we did it.
Good. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, there is a case of a number of these persons in the city of Jos saying that those people that were imprisoned by the High Court judge are not those mostly responsible for the crimes committed in Jos. In light of this, are you going to go on with your examinations and subsequently investigations?
And that's exactly the analysis we should do in this area called preliminary examination.
So, as we speak, what would you say to the Nigerian people if you had something to say to them?
We're working with Nigeria. Nigeria is a member of the court. We work with Nigeria in analyzing what happened in Nigeria, but also we are working for Nigerian officers were killed in Haskanita, so we are working to protect these people, to justify them. And also we are working with Nigeria in the Cote d'Ivoire case, with Nigeria has a big role as a big country, is leading an African solution for the Cote d'Ivoire case, the coast case. So I think we have this complex and important interaction with Nigeria. We are very proud of that in Nigeria.
Now let's look at other issues relating to the International Criminal Court and Africa. So much controversy has been generated by the position taken by the African Union and key political figures in Africa who say that the International Criminal Court is a Western court set up to prosecute African countries. What's your reaction to that?
The women in Darfur were raped, are raped. I should ignore them because they're Africans? No, I would not. People in Darfur were killed. I would not them? No. So what I say is I'm working for the African victims.
The United Nations Security Council Resolution 1593 that referred the case of the genocide in Sudan to the International Criminal Court could also have referred the case of the US war in Iraq to the ICC. What do you make out of this?
Go to Security Council and tell them. I have a legal authority to investigate Darfur. I found it's a genocide.
But it was based on the referral from the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1593.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I have authority. The Security Council has authority to refer to me Darfur. And I cannot impose them, refer me other cases. It's their decision. I have no authority to tell them what else they have to refer to me. But they can, if they refer to me a case where people are not, there are no crimes, I will not open. But in Darfur there are crimes. So for me the issue is, yes, should be more investigation in different parts of the world, but you cannot use this problem to hide the genocide in Darfur today. That would be a shame. As an African, you cannot do that. You cannot ignore the victims of your brothers and sisters in Darfur. You cannot do that.
Now, quite a good number of African countries have ratified the Rome Statute, and some of these countries are now beginning to fill in their obligations to the ICC, as was the case of Chad and Kenya for refusing to arrest the Sudanese president on his visit there. Are there sanctions that can be imposed in cases like this?
President Bashir is the fugitive of justice, is abusing the loyalty and the hospitality of African hospitality. And he will be arrested. The state party can decide how to manage. And they're discussing with Chad and Kenya what happened. So I focus on President Bashir and to avoid that the victims are ignored. That should be the focus of everyone. You cannot repeat what a few African supporters of Bashir say. You have to repeat what the people from Africa say about the crimes in Darfur. That's what they should do.
Well, talking about President Bashir, he said that the case in Darfur is not genocide, it's insurgency. What you say?
I wait for him in court. I don't discuss my evidence in media. President Bashir came to court to discuss the evidence.
Just finally, what's the greatest challenge facing delivery of international criminal justice?
Oh, we're building a global one justice system. The biggest challenge that people in Nigeria have solidarity with people in Georgia, that people in Paris have solidarity with people in Uganda, so that we have a global community. So that is the biggest challenge, because the prosecutor is serving a community. The prosecutor in Lagos serves Lagos community. But the problem is we are going beyond. But Nigeria is a good example, because as you see, you have peacekeepers, Nigerian peacekeepers in Darfur. So suddenly, a Nigerian officer will kill, and then suddenly you want justice there, and we are doing justice for you. So that's what we're developing, a system of justice that could reach everyone, whatever it is, whatever he is.
Well, thank you very much for your time today.